All right, welcome to the Bay Area Business Podcast. I'm here with Lynn McCloskey. So, Lynn, tell me about your business, what it is, and how it adds value to the community.
My business started out being just in real estate investing, and I specialized in seller financing.
Okay.
And I kind of went the traditional route, setting up my website the way I was taught and marketing the way I was told, and direct mail marketing. Spent thousands of dollars on that, setting up my website the way I was told. And over time, I started to realize that it didn't fit me. It wasn't who I was. It didn't represent me as an individual and any part of my uniqueness or my creativity. So I started to just get more creative. And so I now not just help people who are in a situation with a house who, just it's not fitting them, or it's not, they can't afford it anymore. They're struggling, and they just really have been told so many different things, and they don't know who to trust. And I say that out of my own experience, because I actually experienced the same thing. I was in a situation with my house where I had refinanced in 2007, and I had a pretty high appraisal. And then obviously when the market dropped, I was down about $250,000. And my husband and I had dumped about $100,000 into the property and done about 7 years worth of sweat equity. Literally, loss of structural stuff. So a lot of it wasn't cosmetic, it was very structural. And so for us to just walk away meant we just couldn't even think about it. We couldn't even fathom the idea of just walking away. So we hung on and clung to what we thought was an investment over a very long period of time. And the entire time we were extremely stressed out, and it was just an emotional roller coaster. We never knew from one day to the next what was going to happen, and it was really all up to the lender as to what they were going to do for us, and so we were completely powerless as far as what our future held for us, and very our eyes were closed at that point. And I was not super real estate. I mean, I was just getting into real estate at that time, and so not super savvy about what was going on. And over the time frame that 2.5 year period, I learned a lot. I gained a lot of knowledge. And towards the very end of that period, I hired a business coach because my business was suffering. And just within the second call, she literally said the perfect words that I needed to hear, and that was, "The universe is taking care of this problem. You need to just let go."
Let go.
Let go. And it was very profound, because I was ready to hear it, and I was ready to let go. And so my husband and I initiated a short sale, and we moved right away. We didn't want to stay there. It represented a lot of negativity to us, so we actually got into a new place, and I just started getting a lot of clarity after moving into that place about what I wanted to offer in addition to what I was already doing. And that was to really support people through that process, because it was very painful, very emotional. And it took me 2.5 years to make that decision. Once the decision was made, it was very easy to go, to move forward. But getting to that decision was very difficult. So I want to help people, really see clearly about what their situation is representing to them and in their life, and what kind of opportunities it's showing them. And then to help them make the decision and then move forward. So whatever their decision is for them.
I noticed that you're not just an ordinary realtor. It's a different format that you use. You spoke on seller financing. First, can you explain that, and then explain how you help someone who is in your same position, who might be currently in that same position?
What was the first question? I'm sorry.
Seller financing.
Okay, so seller financing is basically the seller finances the transaction. So that either they leave their financing that's in place when they sell the property. It's called subject to, and if there's no financing and they own the property outright, then they finance the property and they're the bank.
Okay.
And they would extend me, the investor, the loan.
Yeah, I know.
It's very complicated, but that's kind of the gist of
But
it.
that's how you help get that across to a seller or to a buyer.
Yeah,
So
and
you don't have to go to a traditional bank and pay 20%. You can just talk to the homeowner and say, hey, let's use seller
Exactly.
financing to fund this.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And it saves people real estate commissions. And by the way, I am not a realtor. And so it does save people commissions.
Yeah.
So if they're looking at a $500,000 house and they don't have any equity, but they need to sell it,
Yeah.
they're looking at $50,000 to close that transaction. And
Yeah.
and who wants to write a check at escrow for $50,000
Yeah.
and walk away from a house?
Uh,
And then the other part of it was, how do I help people in my situation? My situation was beyond seller financing or subject to. So, and it's funny because I used to not be able to, I used to not think that I could help people. But what I wanted to do now is to be able to support those people through that process.
yeah.
Obviously, they're going to need some additional help outside of my expertise.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're willing to just walk away and let the house go to foreclosure and be done with it.
Yeah.
So I work with, a realtor. I work with, other attorneys,
Mhm.
mortgage people, all kinds of different people that can assist these folks in getting through that process.
Yeah.
And then just helping them get clear about what their situation is, reflecting, and then figuring out what do I really want out of this situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then moving on. So.
You spoke on hiring a business coach, and were you in business back then, or what made you hire a business coach to walk you through your home issue?
Well, I thought that the problems I was having were about the house, and I also thought that they were maybe a problem I was having with my website, and I just needed additional coaching. What I realized after this, all these events have transpired and I've moved forward, is that I really needed to work on me.
Oh, yeah.
I needed to get clear with me and then figure out the letting go process for me, because I got so attached to that house. It was very unhealthy and I couldn't see clearly.
Yeah.
Once I was out of there, I started to see clearly, and then through that process I realized that I was very attached to something that was nails and boards and concrete. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't represent who I was.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think. What I want people to know and learn from me is that I realize that my value comes from me,
Yeah.
not from external structures or
Yeah.
things or people or circumstances, and then we get so wrapped up in this, gotta have
American
the nice car.
dream,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
American
House
dream,
with the
white picket fence.
Yeah. Yeah.
All those things.
Yeah.
That we don't realize that when those things are taken away, who are we?
Yeah.
Who do we become?
I get asked a lot, Joseph, what's a good investment I can, because my financial background, people think I'm the super investor. They say, so what's a great investment for me to make? And I say, invest in yourself.
Yeah.
That's the best investment you can make. Read books, talk to people 2 times smarter than you, hang out with people triple your net worth, listen to podcasts, and just take in all the information you can. Invest in yourself, because once you're presented with an opportunity to use what you've invested, it shows.
Right.
It shows.
No, I absolutely agree.
You can invest in Apple stock and Google stock and real estate,
But you're investing in something outside of you that you have no control over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have control over yourself.
Exactly.
You don't have control over anyone or anything.
Exactly. So that's why I respect hiring a business coach.
Yeah.
That shows that you are trying to get better.
Yeah,
You're not just
absolutely.
throwing out
Absolutely.
EDM or.
And I'm consistently doing classes and online courses
Beautiful.
On a regular basis.
Nice,
I mean,
nice.
I'm in like 3 or 4 different classes right now. In
Nice.
fact, I've probably taken on more than I should.
No, that's good. Pack that day. No
I just
white
inundate,
space.
and I don't watch TV anymore. I mean, I have no
Good.
TV.
Oh.
I don't listen to the news.
Yes, it just warms my heart. People who watch Lost are lost.
No, I did watch Lost,
No,
but I haven't
okay.
watched it. That was a long time
But
ago.
just TV in general.
Yeah.
So many people get caught up in the Scandal and Lost and American Idol, but it does nothing for you.
It's just a time eater.
Yeah, just time suck.
Yeah.
Hours and hours are spent watching TV. making them rich when you can be making yourself more,
Right.
you know,
Right.
putting yourself in a better position.
Right. Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. We can just talk about that all day. But what's the story? You kind of went into it about how your house, the situation got shaky and it kind of went under. But in your business now, what's a road bumper? What's something that you didn't think would be so hard about running this business?
Well, I think something that I never realized, and well, I don't know if anybody would know this, but it's a business that I'm creating as I go along.
Yeah.
As things come to me, as more information comes to me, and I become more aligned and aware with who I am, it changes.
Yeah.
And it's so I'm sort of like, trying to keep on top of all that, keep it all together. And I don't have a business or finance background, so there's some challenges that I come across as far as email and marketing, and I'm just starting to write.
Nice. You said an ebook, right?
I wouldn't say I'm like a fantastic writer, but I
come
do
on.
Completely come from the heart,
That's
and
good.
so and I want to get more into that. It's something that I never dreamed I would be doing.
Yeah.
And then also speaking and just sharing my own personal experience, because the house situation represented a complete pivotal turning point in my life. And it wasn't just about the house, it was what I realized, the lesson, the opportunity that came out of that.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to share with people. What is this showing you? What is this situation showing you? And instead of feeling victimized, how can you overcome it and make it an opportunity to grow and evolve?
Definitely.
Because that's what we're here for.
Yeah, definitely. It's huge. So you said you're learning your business. It's kind of, you're being nimble and you're finding how to work it. So do you have any competition, or have you looked at competition, or how does that work for you?
I personally don't feel like I have any competition.
Okay.
And I think that's a word that we should just eliminate altogether, because I believe that there's enough for everyone, abundance for everyone.
Definitely.
And I'm still trying to let go of that old belief system.
Scarcity mindset.
Yes, exactly. That we have just been instilled with in our entire lives, and even back before our parents were around, it was the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of been passed on generationally. But I don't feel like I really have competition. What I have is what I have to do is educate people about alternative ways to see things.
Yeah.
And to do business and to do real estate. And seller financing has been around since the 70s. It's not something that's mainstream, and so people just look at the traditional and they
Get discouraged.
feel like they can trust the traditional, and they don't want to see that there's other ways to do things. And that's my challenge, is just educating people about alternatives, and then taking responsibility and keeping it in their hands instead of handing it off to a lender or someone else to handle, letting them take control of the reins and managing that side of it. And having me as the intermediary to really help them to manage the whole transaction the entire time that it's in place.
Nice. So you're educating the client customer another way to skin the cat,
right?
Instead of just being hamstringed to the traditional, go to the bank, get a lender, get a loan,
exactly,
pay X amount, pay a realtor fee, and all this fun stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know about you, but I feel like the value of the dollar is crumbling, and where does that put people when I was talking to a friend just the other day that they're he's in his 50s, his girlfriend's like probably 47, and they want to buy, she wants to sell a house, and then they want to buy something new, or another house, and $650,000, $700,000 range, and it's like, do you really want to take that on at your age, because you're never going to pay it off, and who knows where the market's going. I mean, most people would say, oh, it's just going to go up again, but the structures in the universe or the globe right now are not really good. They're going down. And so, I mean, I feel like I have so much more freedom because I'm renting now.
Yeah.
Because I'm not tied to a property.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't pay property taxes. I don't have to fix anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have freedom.
I learned, and I learned looking into real estate as well. People think that 4 bedrooms and 2.5 baths is an asset, like it's an investment, it's a good thing. But
is it ever yours?
No, well, no,
most of the time, no.
No. And then if you get short on your money or you miss a payment, that asset turns into a 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath liability.
Nightmare.
And you're sleeping in it, but you can't sleep at night because it's sleeping on you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's part of the bigger picture that has come to me out of this whole process is the freedom aspect. Downsize a little bit. Take that extra money that you have and put it into something that you really enjoy. More time with your family. Travel.
Yeah.
Taking up a hobby that you never had time or money to do, or just pursuing your passions, and then being able to give back and fulfilling. Have that feeling of fulfillment instead of just going to work for someone else.
Yeah, just to pay the mortgage.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. You're saying the same words that I've been writing about over the last
Yeah, we have
year.
to talk about the ebook. So, when is it coming out? Do you have a date yet?
Well, I have just a couple more things to write, and then it needs to go to editing, and I don't know the whole process. I'm actually have a meeting with the guy tomorrow that hopefully will get me to the next level. So I'm thinking either early to mid-August.
You have a title for it?
I do, and I don't exactly remember.
It's all right. Well, I'll shoot you an email, then we'll link it in the show notes later.
Yeah, and I might change it.
Yeah. It's all,
yeah. I have to sit and think about it. I just started writing it, and then I'm going to have to kind of sit with the title.
Nice.
Because I'm not sure it's going to be perfect for it.
Nice. So with this book, what is your plan for growth in the next year, business growth?
Well, with the book, I want it to help people to, number one, understand who I am and what, kind of where I'm coming from. I know that what I'm doing is not for everyone, but I do want to attract the people that are, my tribe, my people.
Yeah, sure.
And so the book is really about kind of my journey and my thoughts on, how things are going and where I'm going with my business. And then also I have several different meditations depending on where they are in the process. So like where I was, or someone actually at the process of letting go, deciding, and then just maybe they've already gotten rid of the house and they're still angry and frustrated and bitter about the whole situation. And then for buyers who really want something, but there's nothing available right now, to help them sort of create in their mind what it is that they want. And then help them to put it out in the universe and hopefully manifest it if it's right.
Nice. So what are you doing now to gain knowledge to keep up with the real estate industry?
I continue doing, I continue reading, and I have a friend who is an active realtor, and so we talk all the time. He sends me articles that keep me caught up, and I'm still somewhat attached. I connect with different attorneys, and so that's kind of the way I've kind of pursued, the real estate stuff. And I know, it's a tough market right now. I hear it from every side, that people are they get frustrated because they got to have that house, and they got to have this, and they got to have that. And it's like I just feel this desperation that people got to buy the house, but it's almost like that excitement that starts this whole thing that they they get caught up in it.
They get overqualified and they think they can make that note every month, and they can't. The realtor is selling it something they really can't afford. They get into it, the marriage goes in the pot because they can't afford it.
Right.
All from the American dream.
And it's funny because I still see people getting caught up in that excitement. And it's like you've got to just, cut the emotional part out of it and really think business-wise about is this, and then heart-wise, is this really, truly something that's going to make me happy?
A good friend of mine, a roommate from college, he always tells us, think with your head, not with your heart. You know, if you're making a bet or making a decision.
Well, you got to connect the two, really, because your heart knows the answer. Your gut and your heart know the answer.
Yeah.
And we're taught at a very young age to ignore that intuition.
Yeah.
I was just having a conversation with my mom about it the other day, and you know, I know that, you know, I lost my voice, my uniqueness at a very, very young age, and so now I'm regaining that back.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been easy to come out and speak about stuff that, you know, is personal, and it's personal.
Yeah,
and I, you know, it's very hard to share, but I think it's really important because it allows other people, gives them permission to share.
Yeah. So that makes a lot of
And that's
sense.
what makes you attractive to your tribe is sharing personal and, you know,
Disclosure.
Yeah.
Letting it out there.
Yeah.
Being transparent. Being
yeah,
real.
absolutely,
Human.
absolutely.
A lot of people put on these facades and they don't want to be human. They want to act like everything worked for them ever in life.
And it's not attractive. It's not attractive at all.
No.
Not to the people that I'm, you know, wanting to work with.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what does retirement look like to you? Or do you plan on retiring?
Yeah, I probably won't I mean, the typical retirement.
Yeah.
You know, my husband and I are actually working on another venture in a nonprofit. We want to buy distressed properties and build them out for wounded vets and their families.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And it may change over time. We've
Yeah.
been waiting a long time for the, you know, the nonprofits, the tax exempt status from the IRS because they're way behind. But it'll hopefully dovetail into part of my business as well, because what better way to say your payments are going to get made by this nonprofit,
Yeah.
and it's going to be, you know, your house is going to be housing a wounded vet and their family.
Yeah.
That's something that they can afford, and so that's kind of another venture that we're getting into.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of work ahead of us. I don't ever see myself
You'll get there.
retiring
You'll
yet.
get there. Yeah.
But I do, you know, I want to have time to play too. I have
Yeah.
2 granddaughters, and I want to be able to spend, you know, time with them, and, you know, travel and stuff. But I still see myself working for a long, long time.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So what are you going to do this year to give back to the community?
What did I write here? What number is that?
Right.
What I want to share with people is that they can set themselves free.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really all about how we think about our situations. You know, we don't have to imprison ourselves. And you know, a lot of people don't feel like they have the right or the opportunity to have their own business.
Yeah.
And it's really about how we think. Because if we can think more positively and say, yes, I can make this happen, yeah, it's going to take some work. But if they can stop the TV and, you know, get off the phone and, you know, stop messing around and really focus their attention on stuff that really matters to them, the universe will fill in.
Yeah.
And if people can, you know, regain some of that freedom, how much happier are we all going to be? So I really just want to instill or just share with people that they have a choice to be free.
Nice.
And just, you know, even just in freeing up time for themselves by giving up some of the other things that don't serve them.
Yeah, it's a beautiful message. You can set yourself free. All right, so it sounds like you're a reader as well. So recommend one personal development book and one business book for our listeners.
I actually listen to a lot of webinars.
Okay.
So,
You have any favorites?
you know, I subscribe to Mind Valley, and they have a lot of different people in the industry, in the consciousness industry, that share their programs through the Mind Valley website.
Define the consciousness industry.
Well, like one gal is intuitive, and she is sharing how to, you know, get rid of old belief systems and instill them with new ones. Which, you know, if you have these old belief systems and you just kind of layer over new ones, the old ones are always still there, and they still have a profound effect on, it's that little voice in the back of our head saying we can't do it, we're not good enough, we have to get rid of that. So that's very powerful. One of the other programs I'm working on is it's a higher guidance training, and it's basically how to connect with Source in a much more profound, strong way, and then receive messages directly from Source and or your higher self in meditation. Because that's, when you quiet the chatter, quiet your mind, and really focus in, you can get so much guidance and answers. And that's really listening to your intuition and your gut, which everyone has.
Okay, nice. So what's your normal meditation regimen like? Is it daily, weekly, or?
Oh no, I do one every day. If I don't do it, I feel out of whack. So I usually do it in the morning. Occasionally I'll do one at night, but I typically like to just do it in the morning and
just sit for 5 minutes and shut everything out.
It depends how much time I have. Sometimes it's 15 minutes, sometimes it's 45 minutes, sometimes it's an hour. It depends on how much time I have and how much I really need to go in. And a lot of the creativity that's come through from my business is done through meditation.
Wow.
So I've gotten a lot of really great information in my meditation sessions. So, that's kind of how I learn. And keep things going. Now, a book. I'm not as good at reading books as I am listening to, like I said, webinars and stuff like that. So I know one book that I've read is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I actually have one of his quotes in my speech.
Which one's that one?
It's when you feel that you are being most unfairly tested, you are being prepared for greater achievement. And I share that after the story of my house because I know that was, for a reason. When I look back, I know that whole thing that happened with my house and getting into real estate and getting into seller financing was all together for my higher purpose. That was my true calling.
Nice. Yeah, Napoleon Hill, he shares some good stuff.
Yeah.
In that light, do you have a business book of how to maybe grow and scale your business, or does that mainly come from just personal development?
Yeah, because my business is so different and so unique. Maybe it's, maybe I'm going to have to write more about it. I'll have to write the book.
Good stuff, Lynn.
Because I don't want to copy anybody. I don't want to follow what other people are doing. People have great ideas and you can learn from them, but I'm really paving my own path. So maybe it is an invitation to write.
Do it. Good stuff. So how can we find more about Lynn and what Lynn does? Social networks, blogs, websites? You're on LinkedIn. I found you on LinkedIn.
I am on LinkedIn. I need to update some stuff. I'm in progress on some big updates on my website.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sort of working solo, so it's like I said, I'm not a business and I'm not a techie person, so it's taking me longer. But I'm making some big progress with the ebook coming out. I'm working on a newsletter that's going to be coming out every month. I have some great articles on the structure of the banking systems that a friend of mine is writing for me that's going to be on the newsletter, and it's going to be like a 3-month series. And then I have someone else that's going to be writing about other financial ways to create your own banking system. So that people don't have to go to the lender for a loan, especially if you're credit shot. You got to come up with alternatives. Because who wants to wait 2 or 3 or 4 years, especially if you need to buy a car or something. So if you can actually create this, this it's actually a life insurance policy. You can actually borrow from it and then just create your own banking system. It takes time to set up, but there's no time like right now.
Start now.
Start now.
Good stuff. So this is our last question. All right, if you had a friend come into town and they were starving, where would you take them to get a bite to eat that best represents the Bay Area?
I'm probably not the person to ask this, but
you're a foodie, no?
Well, I come to Panera a lot. That's probably not a place that I would recommend.
There's got to be a mom and pop shop around here somewhere.
You know, Concord is tough. Boy, I'm just not the person to ask this question.
No, San Francisco, Walnut Creek, Oakland, anywhere in the Bay Area.
You know what? There was a girl and I went to, it was like one of our first dates, and it's still there. It's called the Pacific Cafe.
The Pacific Cafe.
And they have awesome seafood, and they've been in business for probably 40 years, and still going strong. So
the Pacific
it's a
Cafe.
Great place, yeah.
Okay, I'll link that in the show notes.
Yeah.
And any last words or a final quote that you want to leave with our listeners and viewers?
And I did pull my thing out. Just stay connected to my site, which is www.alternativehomesellingsolutions.com, and watch for some new updates and like I said, the ebook, the newsletter, and I'm just really gonna get in there and start doing some short videos and maybe some inspirations or things that that come to me. I'm gonna try to be posting more on Facebook and stuff.
Nice. Good stuff. Well, you guys heard it here first from Lynn McCloskey. Check her out on her website, alternativehomesellingsolutions.com. Her ebook is coming soon, so keep an eye out for that. And Lynn, I just wanted to say thanks, and I'll see you at the top.
Right, thank you.